What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king. Welcome back to more Let's Play Pokemon Emerald. In the last episode, we made our way through Route 113 all the way to Fall Harbor Town, had a look around, and between episodes, I decided to go gather some ash, and I got myself both the blue and the yellow flute. I really didn't think that the red flute required was all that necessary, I suppose, because okay, yeah, it's very, very helpful, but at the same time, infatuation is such an uncommon thing in this game that it's just like, I didn't really feel like I needed to walk for another 10 minutes just to get that flute. So we're not going to worry about that one. Now, I forgot to heed my own advice and didn't actually check this pile of ash. Right here, I got myself a TM32, which contains Double Team, which I actually kind of ragged on for being kind of a niche move just a few episodes ago. Now, we could teach this to one of our Pokemon, which any of them can learn it. But honestly, I'm going to forgo that, at least for now. I'm probably going to... I'm probably going to use it much later, but for now, let's head on over this way. I also did go to the mart. This mart is finally selling Super Repels, so I grabbed myself a bunch of those. And now we can finally head on into Route 114. First things first, we're going to want to head up into this house. And if we go here, we can talk to this kid. My big brother is the Fossil Maniac. He's a nice guy who loves fossils. He loves digging holes, too. He dug this hole by himself. You can have this just so you can dig holes like my big brother. And we have obtained TM28. That is pretty darn cool. Dig is actually a pretty good move that I am going to be holding on at least to for the time being. I think that Ghidorah can learn it. Okay, and Toothless is able to as well. But I think I'm going to pass on teaching him Dig for now. We're just going to keep heading on up further, and we're going to actually talk to said Fossil Maniac. Now, it's not really all that important to do so, but I'm the Fossil Maniac. I'm a nice guy who loves fossils. Do you want a fossil? Put the fossils around these parts belong to me. None for you. So much for being a nice guy. If you can't bear to go without a fossil, look in the desert where there are boulders and sand that may hide fossils. He is actually giving us a hint that sandy area that we have not been able to enter, it is going to pertain to that much later. So worry about that when we come to it, but that is just some information that we can get from the guy. For now, though, okay, fine. I guess we can fight the fishermen. I guess so. I guess it's alright. Alright, so here on Route 114, there are actually some new Pokemon that can be obtained. Some of the old Pokemon that can be found here are like Lombre and Lotad, as well as, I believe, Nuzleaf. But two new Pokemon can be caught on this route. The first of which is Swablu. Swablu starts as a flying normal type, but eventually evolves into a flying dragon type, Altaria. This is one of the most defensively focused dragon types in the entire game. It doesn't really pack the hardest punch, but it still hits pretty well, has good speed, and like I said, is very defensively focused. It's very hard to take down, even despite its quad weakness to ice. It can still actually tank ice pretty well as dragon-type moves and rock-type moves, its other weaknesses. So, very good defensive Pokemon. The other Pokemon that can be caught on this route is Seviper, which is a pure poison type. This is also the Pokemon that can be caught in Sapphire, but in Ruby, that Pokemon that can be caught in this route was instead Zangoose. Now, Zangoose and Seviper kind of act as polar opposites of one another. In the lore, they constantly fight one another, as their Pokedex entry states. But Seviper is a pure poison type. It can learn moves like Poison Fang and Poison Tail. You can also teach it Sludge Bomb, which is much more useful in this generation because Seviper is physically focused more than specially focused. It can also learn moves like Crunch and things like that. Very, very solid poison type, and honestly, my pick for poison type in this game, despite how kind of defensively frail it is. I know because of defenses, most people would recommend Coughing in this game if you want a good poison type, or even like Gulpin and Swalot. I personally like Seviper the most just because of its speed and attack power. And also its learn set. It can learn some incredible moves. It can also learn things like Flamethrower as well to top everything off. So, very darn good Pokemon. Just touching upon Zangoose a little bit, the reason that Zangoose is the counterpart is because it has an ability that makes it immune to being poisoned, while also having a lot of, mostly having very, very just physically strong, normal-based moves of its own. So it's kind of designed to take down a Pokemon like Seviper without any issue. It doesn't have to worry about getting poisoned by anything, and it can attack incredibly directly, not having to worry about abilities like Poison Point and things like that. Although I do not think Seviper actually has Poison Point as its ability. I think it's something else. I just cannot quite remember off the top of my head what that is. But I don't know why I used Thief there. That was dumb. But whatever, because Ghidorah is going to take this thing down anyway. So, yeah, those are the only two Pokemon that we caught in this route. But one of those new Pokemon is actually of interest to me. And can you guess which Pokemon that is? I have mentioned for the last couple of episodes that I want to be catching a flying type, and yeah, we are going to be getting ourselves a Swablu here really, really soon. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to fight this trainer now. Fishing, you wouldn't stand a chance against me. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. I don't even really care about what you have to say on this matter. I'm just going to fight you, dude, and you're going to probably throw, like, Magikarps at me or something. Yep, I knew it. How did I know that? Oh, I hate fighting fishermen for this exact reason. Okay, so let's start with... Let's use Rock Tomb. Why not? Yeah. Splash. I don't freaking care. Just use the darn thing. Okay. There we go. Down goes Magikarp, but very, very simple. And actually, we did get a level up out of that, despite how little experience that gave us, which that's pretty cool. We got a Barboach. That shouldn't be... Well, actually, maybe I should have... Oh, no. Maybe I should have actually changed... Well, you know what? It doesn't even matter. Whatever. Let's just go with Headbutt. I think we can be fine. I think we'll be fine. There we go. Why are you using... Come on. Use... Never mind. Just... Try to use something that's actually going to be of use. Like, really, we're going to be wasting... There we go. Magnitude 8. Okay, that's going to be actually very strong because of the quad weakness that I have to it. And also, Magnitude 8 is very strong because that's a base power of 80. Magnitude is just a de facto worse move than Earthquake, though, because, well, Earthquake is automatically a base power of 100, and unless you can get Magnitude 10 every single time, that's going to be of no use to you. Well, not no use to you, but it's weaker. Although I don't think Magnitude can drop below 4. I think 40 is the lowest damage it can do. So it's still a decent move, but Earthquake is just in every way better. And there goes Goldeen. Okay, so we're going to start looking for our Swablu here relatively soon. I do want to make a stop before we do that, though. So let's head on down across this bridge. No, Miguel, you already talked to me like last episode. Go away. Okay, so I'm going to head down here, and I'm actually going to try to avoid all that. There we go. Let's get ourselves some Person Berries, which these actually heal Confusion, so that's pretty darn useful, although we have a Yellow Flute now, so that's kind of useless now that I think about it. If you don't have a Yellow Flute, there you go. Get a bunch of Person Berries. But I have a Yellow Flute, and so I am good to go and going to be totally immune. Well... Gonna only have one turn wasted by Confusion and Sleep from now on. Alright, so let's head on into this house. And here we have Lynette again. Oh, Levi, I'm so sorry that everything is cluttered. When I get engrossed in research, things end up this way. This is embarrassing. Please keep this a secret in exchange for this. And we've obtained a Lotad doll. And now, when we go to the PC, it is going to be labeled as Lynette's PC as opposed to someone's PC from that point on. Okay, so let's have a look around in the grass. I want to catch one as soon as possible so I can actually start getting it some good experience from all of these other trainers. And that is not what I wanted. Alright, I was able to catch it in a Premier Ball. That's cool. And so we finally caught ourselves a Swablu. This took me like 3 minutes to find one that I wanted, but... Okay, let's give this thing a nickname. So I actually have a little bit of an interesting nickname in mind for this thing. It's got a little bit of a lore behind it. So the name Altaria, it comes from several different roots behind it, but in Chinese, believe it or not, Altaria comes from Jishi, which has to do with the Jishi Festival, which is essentially the Chinese version of Valentine's Day. Now, the two lovers that are often talked about in the legend of the Jishi Festival are named Altair and Vega, and considering I just caught myself a female Swablu, I have decided to name it Vega. That makes sense? I think that's pretty darn simple, but it's actually pretty cool. A little bit of a cool throwback, in my opinion. It's also a name that's pretty easy to remember, and I think Altair was going to be way too obvious and way too uncreative for an Altaria. So... honestly, first of all, I'm an idiot for not giving my Altarian my Swablu an experience share. I'm a dummy. I should have done that, and I didn't. So I guess we're just going to have to forego experience for the poor girl on this one, but in the following fights, she should get it. And I won't actually forget that time. Gosh dang it, I'm dumb. Okay, well, at least we did really good damage to both of them. And paralyzed, too. Okay, I'll take it. And this fight should be very short as well. Still plenty of trainers left to fight on this route, so I'm not really too worried about anything. Let's Metal Claw you and Shockwave you. Honestly, I probably do need to go back and heal, but I'm not, like, too beat up about it. There's not really all that many fights left to take care of in this area, so just fight both of these and take them down, and then we're done. Alright, so Vega definitely has a lot of catching up to do. She's 10 levels below the rest of my team, at minimum. So, but she is going to be a very, very valuable member of our team. One thing that I really, really like about Altaria is it actually can learn quite a lot of interesting TMs, such as Ice Beam, Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, things like that. So, yeah, there's a lot that you can do with an Altaria. Like I said, it doesn't pack the strongest punch in the world. Where am I going? It doesn't pack the strongest punch in the world, but it is still a relatively... Like, it's just such a good Pokemon all across the board, and it still hits hard enough that it can be very, very well utilized. And I'm a big fan of it. I do think it is arguably the best flying type that you can get in this entire game. I mean, there are definitely some other good options out there, don't get me wrong, but it's pretty freaking good. Okay, so I guess we'll just Metal Claw this thing. Might as well. We'll get the most damage out of Metal Claw with that same type attack bonus. Oh no, defensive curl. That'll actually keep me from two-shotting you properly. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong about that. And it did. Okay, I was right about that. Don't be using sand attack now. That's not very nice. You're very rude. Okay, well, at least I was still able to hit you. And down goes Sandshrew. Alright, and next we got a Nuzleaf, which I am going to switch over to... Actually, I wish I could use Vega, but I don't think she has any sort of flying moves at the moment, so we're just going to avoid that entirely. And switch over to Raiju, who should be able to handle this thing no problem, pretty much no matter what I throw at it. Let's start with the Strength, maybe? Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, I would say. And Nuzleaf is using Harden, because I don't know what he thinks that's actually going to do, but okay. Get out of here, sir. And goodbye. There's still, I want to say there's still like 4 or 5 trainers left to battle on this route before we actually make it to the cave that I'm forgetting the name of, where we are going to hopefully get some answers about what's going on here. Okay, I'm going to use really quickly some healing items. I have some more potions I can burn, I guess, because I really don't have any use for these. Let's use them on Ghidorah, get him up in terms of health. There we go. And let's go down and fight this guy after we check what's in the rock behind him, which is a Carbos. And I am going to be definitely giving that immediately to Ghidorah. He definitely needs the speed boost the most. I mean, he already is holding a Quick Claw, which is fine, but yeah, I think a good amount of speed would be very helpful for him. Alright, want to battle? Yeah, sure, I guess I will. Although I think this guy actually has a Rhyhorn, and maybe Ghidorah wouldn't be the best to fight that with. No, he just has an Aeron. Okay, I was wrong. I thought it was a Rhyhorn for some reason. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. Although Rhyhorn is obtainable in Hoenn, I believe, so maybe it isn't that far-fetched of an idea. Don't be mud-slapping. Oh my gosh, you're so annoying. Let's try another Metal Claw that's thankfully going to hit. Okay, good, good. Now they're using Headbutt. Alright, that's fine. That's not going to do all that much. This didn't use Mud Slap again. Okay, that missed. Iron Defense, you suck. So I have to hit with Metal Claw now. I can't use anything else. Keep trying. Thank you. And down goes Aeron. Awesome. So that's some good experience for both of them. And we've defeated Pokemaniac Steve, who I do believe adds us to the Pokénav. I might have actually skipped a trainer up at the top of the route. So I'm going to go check that out really quickly. Do I have a, I think I have... No, I do not have a Super Repellent effect. I thought I did, and I guess I did. No, look, another Swablu. Well, darn it. Alright, well, I'm going to just avoid you, sweetheart, and you can continue to live freely in the wild while I pop a Super Repel that I'm not going to even use for all that long. It's kind of a waste, but I do have plenty of Super Repel, so I'm not all that worried. Okay, I think there was a trainer right here. Yes, I did skip her. And then we can start heading our way up the rock face. Although, actually, I'm pretty sure this is going to be it for this episode after this fight. So, never mind on that. Alright, Meryl. Let's just headbutt you. Actually getting kind of low on it. I'm definitely going to go to the Pokemon Center between episodes at this rate. Deal with another defense curl. I think we actually should be able to break through this no problem with another headbutt. And there it goes. Okay, Meryl is down. And next is Lombre. Alright, that's fine. I can deal with that. No, I'm not switching. And there he is. There is that goofy looking. Seriously, freaking Lombre is just so silly looking. It really is. It's one of the, like, the whole line is super silly looking. I mean, okay, I guess Lotad isn't that far-fetched, but Lombre and Ludicolo, man, they're something else. Sorry to offend anybody who really likes those Pokemon, but I just think they're so strange looking. It's more to do with just their goofy face as opposed to their overall design. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Pokemon Emerald. I hope you all enjoyed it very, very much, and I will see you all in the next one.